Happy Monday. I'm Jack Tapp and welcome to The Debate on TalkSport Radio. We're going to be delving into the latest news, hot takes and controversy in the sporting world for the next half an hour. I'm joined by Libby Mardell-Lyons. How was your weekend, Libby?
It was great. Thanks, Jack. I worked a wedding. I worked multiple weddings. There was a fight at said wedding, which was
Fight?
A little bit mental at someone's wedding, which I personally think is a little bit controversial, wouldn't you say?
Very controversial. We'll get on to some controversial topics, yeah.
We will. But how are you? All good?
I'm all good, yeah. I had a great weekend, went to Dublin, so yeah,
that was fun.
Bit more relaxing than yours. Didn't see any fights.
Yeah, and it's Christmas next week, so just over a week away now. We've got Christmas, which I'm certainly looking forward to. Are you?
Yeah, can't wait.
Very much looking forward to it. And speaking of Christmas, I think our players in the Premier League must be looking forward to Christmas this year as well, don't you think? Because obviously there is only one Boxing Day Premier League game this year, which I personally think is great.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think it's tradition. To have games on Boxing Day. I mean, that's part of the thing I love. Christmas Day's over, you eat all the leftovers, you sit down and you just watch 8 hours or so of Premier League football.
See, I just can't agree. Look, don't get me wrong. Love a bit of football, right? But I don't think I can agree with a Boxing Day game. I know it's happened, like, every year. We've only got Manchester-Newcastle this year, and it's an 8 p.m. game, so in the evening.
Still a good game.
It is still a good game, yeah. And last year, I think there were 8 games, which gave, like, 10 hours of Boxing Day viewing.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Why is that brilliant?
Well, it's great for the fans. I mean, maybe not so much for the players.
The fans are busy. The fans, I don't know about
I'm not busy.
Oh, well, a lot of them are. I don't know.
What do you do on Boxing Day?
Boxing Day is second Christmas.
Is
I have
it?
2 sides of the family.
Yeah, but do you not just, like, sit down and chill out? Like, are you out and about on Boxing Day?
Not out and about. Well, we might be going to other people's houses. Like, for us, you know, big Spurs family, it's always a little bit of an inconvenience. The football has to go on in the corner, and we can't always concentrate on the football because we're having to play Christmas games at the same time. Like, it's never really that, like, easy with it on as well, I wouldn't say. And that's just the fans. Don't even get me started on players. Why can't they have Christmas off as well?
Well, they're being paid enough. I mean, especially, like, there's people who work in pubs and stuff on Christmas, like, but these players are being paid, what, like, 1,000 times the amount? Like, they should 100% be working on Christmas as well.
Okay, but just because your wage is high doesn't mean that you shouldn't, get to appreciate Christmas. Say they get Christmas Day off. Say you've got a Boxing Day game. You're prepping for the game the whole time, basically. You can't even relax. You're just thinking, oh, I've got a game tomorrow.
Absolutely. They could celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. I mean, if you're on 100K a week, I think you should just suck that up, Get on with it.
I don't know. I have very strong, obviously, big Christmas fan over here. I have very strong views about Christmas. And personally, I think that, it should, be a day for everyone, not just,
Yeah, I suppose so. And I guess it's, as time's gone on, there aren't as many sort of religious players and a lot of, like, different religions coming into the Premier League side. So there's probably, like, a very sort of select group of players that this affects too.
Boom, I'm going to steal that point. You've placed a lovely point in there for me.
Go on.
What about those players that are religious?
Well, as I said, they're being paid enough money. They can celebrate the day before.
So you're saying that
I think this should be for the fans.
Money should, basically solve everything here. And if you're paid enough, who cares if you have a day off or not?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they do. They still got a day off the day before. They just got to leave a bit earlier. Get in the team bus to the hotel. You still got the morning to celebrate.
Yeah, but it's like seeing family as well. They're busy people, They get a bit of time off over the summer, but there's friendlies, there's still training going on. There's, if there's Euros on, there's the Euros, there's the Worlds, all that sort of stuff. Busy people, do you not think they deserve just a little bit of time off that isn't just in the summer?
Yeah, you got a point. But then again, so the Football League is still playing on Boxing Day, but the Premier League aren't. And sure, the Premier League players are the ones that are more, like, their bodies are more prepared to play more football. So why is that?
Well, personally, I think the EFL should maybe follow suit. And yeah, no, I think they should totally follow suit, because why not? Why shouldn't everyone have, a bit of time off?
All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree on that one, Libby. Now we're going to throw over to Freya, who's got our news bulletin for today.
Looking at the Premier League scores over the weekend, Sunderland played Newcastle, ending in 1-0 to the Black Cats in the first Premier League Tyneside derby for 9 years. Crystal Palace lost 3-0 against Man City following a brace from Erling Haaland to take City 2 points behind leaders Arsenal. Nottingham Forest won 3-0 against Tottenham. West Ham played Aston Villa and lost 2-3. And finally, Brentford played Leeds and it ended 1-1. In the Scottish League Cup, St Mirren played Celtic and beat them 3-1. Rugby scores now in the European Rugby Champions Cup. Harlequin played Bayonne and won 68-14. Castres defeated Edinburgh, ending the game 33-0. Northampton faced the Bulls and won 50 points to 5. Toulon played Bath and won 45-34. And finally, Bristol played Pau, winning 61-12. Man United boss Ruben Amorim expects lots of intensity from the game tonight, as he says Man United are underachieving and should have more points this season. Make sure to watch tonight's fixture at Old Trafford, where Man United play Bournemouth tonight at 8 p.m, to see if they can start turning their season around.
Thank you, Freya, for that. A notable scoreline there would be Forest beating Spurs 3-0.
We don't really want to talk. Well, we will talk about it, but I don't really want to talk about it. That was a rough one yesterday.
Libby being a Spurs fan. So there's a lot of pressure building on Thomas Frank now. We've actually got Spurs fan Kev ready on the line to tell us why he thinks Thomas Frank should stay in charge. Hello, Kev.
Oh, hi. All right.
So you're a Spurs fan. Yeah, I'm just going to ask you today, if Spurs lose to Liverpool this weekend, should Thomas Frank get the sack?
Should he get the sack? I personally don't think so, but I think he's really on the cusp of it now. There's a sort of a growing support, of despondency for it.
Yeah, so they're 17th in the home league form table. Just really following on from last season. It's not looking good, really.
No, it's not looking good at all. I mean, it's from a Spurs fan, it's pretty shocking, really. And I think my understanding is on points. I think we're 1 point behind where we were last season at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And you went on to finish 17th. So, it's whether he can pick it up in the second half of the season, but he's not really made too much of a difference from the Ange performance last season.
No, because at times it's a bit like the game yesterday. They were just inconsistent. They played, they played well at times, and then they sort of faded out of it, and that's been a bit like the season. There are some games they've played really well in, and in other games they've just been shocking, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a consistency thing, and I guess a lot of Spurs fans weren't happy with some of the changes. So he brought on Ben Davies and Palhinha 2-0 down yesterday. They weren't really attacking changes, looking to get back into the game.
No, and that was the Davis change was a strange change, really, because I thought that Spence was playing really well up till then, and he gives us still an attacking option down that left side yesterday, whereas Davis doesn't really. So that was strange. Palhinha, I like Palhinha, so I didn't find that a problem, because I just felt it was a bit like for like. But yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe another attacking option. We wanted to win or get back in the game, not lose it.
So what's the verdict for you? What would it take for Thomas Frank to be moved on?
Well, I personally don't think he'll go until maybe after the New Year. I think they'll wait to find out, or to see who comes in, to see if there are any recruitments, and they'll take it from there. I don't think they'll give him. I don't really know. I don't know if they'll give him that long after. If the pattern still is the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, spot on, Kev. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
And yourself. Bye bye.
See, I almost agree with Kev there. Ignore our recent performance. I will say, we've had some great games at the start of the season. I think we're doing better in the UEFA Champions League. I mean, the scores show it. Prem, not so much. Started out all right, got a bit worse. But I just give him a bit longer. I mean, this is not an unusual performance from Spurs, is it really? If you look back at season, we always start out strong, and then somewhere mid-season, we just take a dive. And I don't know if this is actually a manager thing anymore, because it happens every year. And say you're obviously disagreeing with Kev there, saying get him out. Who else are you getting in? Is my question. What other options do you have now? We can't go through a new manager every 20 games or something.
For sure, I think he's got a lot of pressure on him now. I'd say, like Kev said, I probably agree. Maybe give him to the new year. But if he can't turn it around, then I know Spurs are certainly going to look at managers like Oliver Glasner at Palace. He's won the Europa League with Frankfurt. He's obviously then on to win the FA Cup and Community Shield with Crystal Palace. This is a guy who knows how to win trophies, and I think steady a ship. And there was also talk of Roberto De Zerbi, who was at Brighton, and obviously doing very well with Marseille at the moment. There are definitely some good managerial options out there.
There are some. I mean, I can sort of see some of them. Oliver Glasner, I'm not sure. He hasn't signed a new deal yet. So
I think that's why his name's sort of being thrown around there, like whether Spurs think they can potentially poach him. Yeah,
I mean, I think Crystal Palace 5th in the league at the moment, obviously sort of changing every week, but they are, near those top stable spots. I can't really see him easily letting them go, to be honest. Robert De Zerbi, I don't think he'd suit the Spurs team.
Okay, why do you think that then?
Obviously, he's at Marseille now. Could argue that Spurs would be a better gig for him. He might be keen to do that. But he used to manage Brighton, got let go due to differing opinions in how the club should operate. From what we found out, he wanted to sign more experienced players whilst the team wanted to bring on younger players. Spurs, obviously, lots of overall quite a young team, I'd say, with quite a bit of inexperience. This is clearly, from what we saw from Brighton, not a team that De Zerbi prefers. So why would he come in and manage a team that actually he wants to manage those teams that have more experience because he thinks they'll do better? Why would he come in and do Spurs, who is basically a team of everything why he left Brighton?
Well, firstly, a money thing, I think. And also, all the managers want to manage in the Premier League. Spurs being a Champions League side and English, managing in the best league in the world, I think it would be a no-brainer for him. I think he'd accept the challenge 100%.
We'll see. But obviously, looking forward to Saturday, I believe Saturday's game. Liverpool-Tottenham.
El Sacico. That's what I'm labelling that as. 2 managers under pressure.
Yeah, I like that one. Both teams struggling, although Liverpool's
6th, but, sort of far away from the standards they had of last season.
They had, I was thinking about that. They had a real rough start to the season. They're doing better now. They beat Brighton at the weekend. And they're currently 6th on the table, 8 wins, 26 points. This time last year, they were first in the table, 18 wins, 45 points. I think that is a shocking difference.
Well, you consider the amount of money they spent as well. That is absolutely criminal. And, where's Isak and all this? Where's Wirtz in this?
Absolutely.
You have to label them as flops so far, for sure.
Well, how do you see, I think most people are going to expect that it's a Liverpool win at the weekend, but the team aren't doing so good. Tottenham's
Yes.
doing their usual performance. What do you think we're going to see?
Spurs' home form is very telling. I think, yes, as I said earlier, they're 17th in the home form table. So Liverpool would have to fancy themselves, especially off the back of a great win against Brighton. So I'm going to edge Liverpool. I'm going to edge Liverpool towards that one.
I have to stick with Tottenham, but I look forward to seeing it.
I wonder why that is. Right, so earlier we went around Cardiff Met University and we asked some of the students for their hot takes. Let's have a listen.
If Arsenal don't win a trophy, Arteta needs to go. 5 years, you've spent a lot of money, you're a top team, come in second place several times in the league, bottle in the league. Yeah. I think if there's no trophy, especially when you look like you're about to win the Premier League, they've all sort of bottled it this season already. Yeah. Top of the Champions League table. I think there needs to be a trophy for Arteta, and then it's good football, but he needs to go.
Alfie, 2021 Rudiger was one of the best centre backs ever. Passion merchant, what a player. Bring him back.
My name's Michael Vaughan. I think in rugby you should just be able to throw hands when you want to, like in hockey, gloves off, just go for it. Imagine Josh Van der Fleer and Tom Curry just going for it in the Six Nations. Everyone else just has to watch, and then they get a 5-minute yellow card and they just have to go and sit on the bench for 5 minutes. Hands just all over the place.
My name's Sonny. Sergio Busquets is by far the best number 6 in the entire world. Yeah, he's so good, so comfortable on the ball, and just does everything really well. Just link up the team, link up the play, control the tempo, just does what number 6 needs to do, really.
My name is Bosch McKenzie. My hot take is Enzo, Caicedo and Cole Palmer, the best midfield three of all time. I mean, you don't get young World Cup winners like Enzo for cheap. You don't get Caicedo, he's on another level, on another planet, and Palmer, he's just a freak. And if Caicedo's dropping back in that 6, it allows Enzo to push up and Palmer to drift wide, cut in maybe, whatever. So 100%.
Some great backing music on that. I was jamming along to it. Some incredibly controversial opinions, though. Yeah. I saw your face during some of those. One I do love, ice hockey fights in rugby. Let's have it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very physical game anyway. I think just because of the size of the rugby players, if they started getting in fights, there would be some potential casualties.
Yeah, but why not? I think that's half the pull from ice hockey, People love it when they have a scrap. I can't say I'm the biggest ice hockey fan, but everything I've seen over socials, having a fight, it's great. Why not? Add a bit more grit to the sport. Rugby's an aggressive sport. It is. We cannot ignore that. Why are we letting refs step in and go, oh, calm down, guys? No, let them have it out.
There's already enough stoppages in rugby as it is. If we had ice hockey level fights that sort of last several minutes and it takes the ref ages to cool the situation, I think fans would be in the stadium for about 3 hours. Yeah, it would just go on forever.
It's passion for the game. You're literally showing the utmost passion for the game.
Also, do the NHS probably already have a lot on their plate anyway? I don't think they need a load of injured rugby players coming in.
The rugby players could be injured anyway. They're literally going to be injured anyway. Honestly, I think it's better. The fans see a bit of fighting. They're like, oh yeah, that was good. It gets out their system, and then they don't do it themselves.
Oh, okay. I think the worst take in there has to be the Chelsea one, the Enzo, Caicedo and Palmer.
I did see your face during that. Tell me your thoughts on that. You seem really unhappy over there.
I don't even think they're even in the conversation for maybe even top 3 in the league. I think you look at Arsenal, City, Villa, possibly. If you take Liverpool as well, their form last season. There's potentially 4 midfields, I think, better than Chelsea's. I mean, yeah, that's a crazy take as well.
Do you really reckon so? I mean, they did win Club World Cup.
Yeah, but, I mean, who'd they beat to get there? I mean, other than the final, an impressive win against PSG, they were beating, Brazilian sides, Benfica, I think it was. I've not seen enough from that midfield 3 so far to suggest that they're... I think you said the greatest of all time. I don't even think they're top 3 in the Premier League.
Greatest of all time, yeah, he did say that.
I don't think he even believes that himself.
We have to go back and ask him.
Yeah.
Tell us more. moving on to some more, I think potentially controversial topics now. Boxing. Obviously, this Friday, Jake Paul fights Anthony Joshua in Miami. And so we are welcoming into the studio avid boxing enthusiast, Devin Pope, to talk to us more. Oh, hello, Devin.
Sorry, I thought you were done. Please continue.
No, I'm done. Carry on.
No, that's right. Avid boxing enthusiast. That's me.
That is you. Now, give us your initial thoughts. What do you think's going on at this weekend?
I can tell you my exact thought when I saw that Jake Paul was fighting Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
Anthony
that's what I
Joshua
want.
being the man who knocked out Francis Ngannou second round. Francis Ngannou, known for having one of the strongest punches in the UFC in boxing. When I saw the news line that said Jake Paul's next fight, Anthony Joshua, and I saw him wearing that stupid rooster hat, I thought this is the day that Jake Paul dies or has.
Really? I thought you were a fan.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
no,
thought you was
no,
a Jake Paul fan.
No,
Jake Paula?
no.
Oh, okay,
no.
I must have been mistaken.
No, yeah. No,
I
but,
will say for those listening in, if you have the chance, go check out that video online. There, Jake Paul does an interview, and he wears a rooster hat. It's really quite
So
entertaining.
random. I don't understand
He's
the thought process
clearly
there.
taking it very seriously.
he does
but-
this every fight, though.
Yeah, I definitely find it interesting. You sing Anthony Joshua's praises here, but he hasn't been in the ring for 14 months.
Yeah.
And he was last in the ring, knockout from Daniel Dubois, and he's been off since. So how can you say all that? Jake Paul has actually more recently, arguably, had the better performance.
Maybe recently, but let's take into account the rounds that they have played, the amount of matches that they've had. One, Anthony Joshua is about 8 years older than Jake Paul, which is
Experience.
but it's about 20 or so less than Jake Paul's last opponent, Mike Tyson. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking that fight was to watch and how unnecessary that fight was for both parties. Mike Tyson wanted the money. He got the money. Anthony Joshua does not care about the money. He said so himself. He said he's not there for the money. I think there's a
I'm
little bit
having
of
a hard
BS to
time.
that, but I also think to a certain degree, I think from the way he speaks in press conferences, I think he just is one of those people that wants to see Jake Paul go down.
Or
And I
maybe
mean,
he's just really well media trained and does just want the money. I mean,
could be.
does anyone have
Could
the
be.
numbers on what they're getting paid for this? It's actually insane.
It
Who
will
knows?
be
Probably
obscene
way
amounts.
too much.
I think it's a bit of a mockery of I'm not a massive boxing fan, but if I was and I saw this fight happening, you got a serious fighter like Anthony Joshua, and he's fighting a YouTuber. I think this influencer boxing thing has gotten out of
Yeah.
It's going to be
Devos.
probably $15, $20 pay-per-view, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Is it on Netflix? I think it might be on Netflix.
it is on
Yeah.
Netflix. Yeah,
But you got to
yeah.
pay for a subscription, or do you have to pay
Or
for
maybe, I
pay-per-view
don't
on
actually know. I didn't
Netflix?
know it was on Netflix.
Someone look that up.
I'll look that up.
If it's on Netflix, it'll probably be free, but you might, who knows, Netflix, most of Netflix lives so far have been free if you have the subscription, but it could be the things like you have to have the premium subscription or you have to whatever. But
We'll see. Dev,
It's a regular Netflix
Just-
subscription. I just want to add that in.
Okay.
Yeah.
obviously, influencers, YouTubers in boxing now. You're an avid boxing fan. What do you think of that?
Okay, so I actually don't disagree with the fact of influencer boxing because
Really?
before, I'm gonna give you a reason why. Boxing is a dying sport. It's sad, but it's true. Boxing is a dying sport. When you have things like UFC, which combines everything, why would you want boxing? I think that when like influencers like KSI, Jake Paul, Logan, they bring a lot to the sport, and they are giving boxers like more opportunities, more money, which is great. Like there's going to be undercard fights to this main fight. Those boxers are getting opportunities and paid more than they would in the regular boxing fight. So I think in the general aspect, it's good for like the sport. So honestly, I understand that might be a little controversial, but that's what we do here, I think. I genuinely do think that the amount of awareness it's brought to boxing, the amount of like attention it's brought, is actually pretty good.
Great, but as a viewer, do you not feel cheated every time? I mean, come on, it's fight. Oh, it ends in a draw. Let's have another fight. Let's make more money. They're all
When-
scripted.
It will.
Like,
They'll
when
rig
that
this one as
happens-
well.
Yeah,
Trust
this
me. they'll
one-
rig
when
this
that
one.
happens, 100%. I feel
and yet
like
you watch it.
I do watch it because I like watching the undercard fights more than I do the other fights because I think they're better quality boxing because they're actually fighting for something. But like with the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, that was just sad to watch. I couldn't watch that. That was just hard to watch. But I mean, if this is a real fight that Anthony Joshua is going into seriously, and there isn't a buyout, there aren't from the rules that we know of, there aren't any like majorly restricting rules other than the max weight Anthony Joshua can be, which I think is 111 kilos.
Yeah, that
And
is
the weight difference
Yeah.
between that and what Jake Paul is at is unreal. It's
For-
about 15 kilos, just FYI.
We don't do It's 17 stone.
Oh,
sorry
right,
for all,
yeah,
all those
sorry.
British listeners. Sorry,
Yeah, my bad. I forgot that
doing
you.
the conversions over here.
For some bloke who's 6'6" to get himself down to that weight is gonna be hard work, and all
Yeah.
for what? To fight this sort of joke of a fight, really.
Well, I think it's a. I mean, hey, realistically, we all agree that this weekend's going to end in a draw, so they can do it again.
They'll then reschedule it to be in Saudi Arabia, somewhere like that. Where they
I
can
feel like at
also
some
make a lot
point
more
during the
bank.
fight, Anthony Joshua's going to forget that he's supposed to pull back and accidentally hit Jake Paul and rattle his brain around. Then he has CTE for the rest of his life. But I mean, like if we're looking at paper, who's going to win? Anthony Joshua. He has a 6-inch advantage on reach, which is huge in boxing. He's 5 inches taller than Jake. Jake Paul is my height.
6'6". No one knows how tall you are.
I'm 6'1". Sorry, right. I forgot this is radio. I'm 6'1". Jake Paul is 6'1". Anthony Joshua is 6'6". That is unreal. So the reach, the height, like Jake has to go up for the chin, like that's all going to be a massive factor. So
Basically, though, looking at it, Anthony Joshua can't lose this. This will break his career. He's coming off the back of being knocked out from Daniel Dubois back in September 2024, that was. Jake Paul's got nothing to lose.
yeah, but it won't
Realistically.
break his bank.
It won't break his
It will
bank,
not.
but it will break his career. He must be confident going into this if
Yeah.
he's willing to do it. If there's even so much as a chance that this goes wrong, then I can't see him coming back into it. Can you?
Yeah, but I would find it really, really surprising if the man who beat Francis Ngannou, second round KO, would be, and he goes into this fight and sells himself out for the money. I would be really surprised with Anthony Joshua because he's always spoken about how passionate he is about the sport and the way he wants to grow, the way he wants to be perceived in the sport. Especially during the press conference with Francis Ngannou. He talked about that a lot. So I would be shocked if that same man comes into this fight with kind of a perspective of just the money. I'd be really shocked about that.
Yeah, we look forward to see it. Sorry, I was just adding on to that. Obviously, I said Jake Paul has nothing to lose. Just looked it up. He's registered 12 wins in 13 matches. He only lost to Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
That's...
But have you checked the age line of the people that have? He could have fought my 86-year-old grandfather, and then my grandfather would make $14 billion. Or whatever.
Well, we'll stay tuned for that one this weekend, I think.
Yeah, so thank you very much for coming on, Devon. We're happy to find out that you're 6'1". Make sure to include that in the dating profile.
Yeah, chuck that one in there.
It's already
Gays and
in. Don't
girls.
worry about it.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning into the debate on TalkSport Radio. Thanks to my co-host Libby.
Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed the hot takes, the controversy today, and we will see you next time. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.